Namaste, everyone. Good evening, India. Good morning, Houston. So we are here again. Last Friday, I missed a session. I'm sorry for that, but I was out of town. I was traveling, and now we are going to wrap up the whole thing. So we have been doing this meditation. This we have started this journey in May, in the month of May, and so far we have learned a lot of things and we'll just rewind a little, like whatever we have learned, let's understand that. A quick review will be much better, so that, and along with that, if you have any question you can ask me. Okay, so we started with what is prana. What is the energy? Prana means energy in English. Prana that flows in our body, and because of which we are alive. So whatever has life, whether it's a plant, it's animal, it's bird, it's the animals in the sea, or human beings, or whatever has life due to the existence of prana in their body. And that prana flows in our body through 72,000 channels, which are known as nadis. Okay, 72,000, the number of nadis through which the prana flows and takes care of each and every action in our body, whether it's a thought process, whether it's any physical action, mental action, spiritual action, as well as the emotional action. All are taken care, or all are controlled by the prana. And the prana flows in our body through 72,000 channels. And out of those 72,000 channels, 10 are believed to be important. And these 10 channels are connected with the 10 gates of our body. Those 10 gates uh, are the urinary tract, the anus, mouth, two nostrils, two eyes, two ears, and the final one is the Brahmarantra, the crown of the head. These are the 10 gates. And it has been said, it has been believed that a person dies from a natural death, I'm talking about, happens from any one or two gates. And from whichever gate the person dies reveals the kind of life that person has led, or the kind of person he or she was. So suppose if the person dies from the lower gates, that means we all have three gunas in us. The degree varies. It's called as tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic. So the person who dies from the lower gates, normally you will see that such people are very tamasic by nature. They led a life, very tamasic life. Now again, how do you come to know? We all have six vices. Those six vices are Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Isha, Ahankar. Kam, Krodh means desire, any kind of desire that we have, and anger. They are always, they come in a pair. Then Lobh, Moh is attachment and greed. So when you are attached to something, you become more greedy. You want to have it more. And ego and jealousy. When you are jealous of someone who has the same capability as you, then your ego gets hurt. That's why you get jealous of that person. These are the six vices. A tamasic person has these six vices in higher degree, then rajasic and sattvic. Then what are the rajasic? When a person dies from these seven gates, what are that? In the case of mouth, the mouth remains open and eyes remain open. That means the person has died from eyes. And from ears and nose, you don't come to know, because again, it's more subtler than the air, that just quickly vanishes, or it disappears. It gets eradicated from your body. And how do you know that the person has died from the lower gate? They soil their clothes. So either if they pass urine just before that means they have died from the urinary tract. If they pass stool, that means they have died from the anus. Now the last one is called, these are the rajasic. So they have these six vices, but not in the degree that of tamasic, but they do have. And then the last one is the sattvic. When a person dies from here, how do you come to know? Uh, this cracks. Yes, you are amazed to hear that. Yes, it cracks. At times with a light, loud noise, or at times it just cracks simply. And you'll be surprised that whenever I have my session, my workshop, I always ask my workshop that, do you know anyone who has died from here? So far, I must be having more than 10,000 students. So far, only 31 people have said that I know that a person has died from here. And I asked them one more question, that can you explain like what kind of person he or she was? And the answer, you'll be surprised that the answer was similar. It was same. They all said, oh, he or she was a saint like person, very helpful, very lovable. And they never used to judge a person as per their financial status or their creativity or their actions. They just used to have that unconditional love towards everyone, and they were very helpful. So this is called nari, 10 important nari that flow in our body. Out of these 10 important nari, again 3 are important. Those 3 are called ida, pingla, sushumna. And these 3 nadis are connected with our brain activity. We all know that we have two brain, left brain and the right brain, and they control our physical activity and mental activity in us. So whenever predominantly we breathe in and out through the left nostril, that means our right brain is more active at that time, and this brain takes care of the mental activity. Whenever we breathe in and out predominantly through the right nostril, that means our left brain is more active at that time, and left brain controls the physical activity in us. And whenever we breathe in and out predominantly through both the nostril, that means our central channel, which is the most important channel in our body, known as sushumna, that is more active. And this Sushumna is the most important channel, and rest 71,999 nadis, including Ida and Pingla, the left channel and the right channel, are connected, are tributary to Sushumna. So our each and every yogasana and pranayams main main point is to activate this nadi. By doing pranayam, we activate our this nadi. By doing any kind of physical activity, whether it's walk, jog, uh, gym work, or yoga asana, we again activate this nadi. So that whenever this nadi gets activated, we are connected with her. Uh, we have 3 levels of brain: the conscious, subconscious, unconscious. We get connected to our buddhi, the intellect mind, the subconscious and unconscious mind. We automatically get connected. Now, let's get back to our topic of chakra. If we have 72,000 channels in the body, but obviously they will intersect each other. So wherever they intersect each other, the chakras are formed. So we have many chakras in the body. I have already explained about most important chakra, then the Bindu chakra and the lower chakras in the class. But we have more than that. And these chakras control the function, mental, physical, spiritual, all functions in our body. We normally, everywhere you will see that people discuss about the 7 important chakras in the body, because these 7 important chakras are connected with our spinal cord, our spine. They are located along our spine and in the brain region. And we all know that the brain controls the function of entire body with the help of the spine and the spinal cord. So these important chakras are located along the spine and in the brain. So we spoke about the 7 important chakras. That is, first one is important chakra is known as a Muladhara chakra, which is located just above our anus. It's red in color, and it controls the earth element in our body, and each and every chakra controls uh, uh, is enriched with some qualities also. When this chakra is functioning properly, or this chakra is well balanced, then we master those qualities. We have that quality, the positive quality in ample amount. So Muladhara chakra controls what qualities? It gives us patience, trust, it increases trust, stability, fearlessness. These are qualities of Muladhara chakra, and each and every chakra controls one or two glands in our body. We all know that the brain controls the function of our body through the spine, spinal cord, and the glands, endocrinal glands. So these chakra control everything. Once they are properly well balanced, your spinal cord is well balanced, your spine is uh, very active, means supple and nice, and they control everything. You have well balance, good balance in your body, and your adrenal gland, all your glands, they are also well balanced. So Muladhara chakra controls the function of adrenal glands in the body. Rest all the chakras control the gland that comes into their periphery. Then we spoke about the color of the chakras. So Muladhara chakra is in red color, is of red color, and it has four petals. Four petals means, as I said, that each and every chakra has, they are created because the nadis intersect at that part. So four petals means four nadis intersect with our Sushumna nadi to create this Muladhara chakra just above our anus. Okay, earth element in the form of a square. This is the yantra of this chakra. Then we move ahead to Swadhisthana chakra, which is located just below our tailbone, and it is orange in color with six petals, means six nadis, and a crescent moon. The yantra of water element is in the form of crescent moon. That means the uh, water element is controlled by this chakra. Now, again, why crescent moon? If you know, I did tell you that our body is a mini universe that exists in this huge universe. Whatever this universe has, our body has in a miniature form. So, whether it is planet, sun, moon, uh, river, ocean, trees, everything our body has. So, this chakra controls the water element in our body. Water element means what? What kind of water? So I said earth element. So what kind of earth do you think this chakra controls? Earth. That is, you must have heard mitti ka sharir hai, mitti mein mil jana hai. So what is the earth element? Earth, that means our skin. Whatever has a solidity is controlled by this chakra. That means our bones, skin, fat muscles, whatever is solid in our body is controlled by this. Now, water element. So, whatever flows in our body is controlled by this chakra. So, our blood flows in our body. We have juices, that is important for it to flow. So, they are all controlled. The flowness of the water element is controlled by Swadhisthana chakra. Okay, and again, the gland. Swadhisthana chakra controls the gonads in our body. Gonads means testes in male and ovaries in female. And again, the quality of this chakra is creativity, pleasure, enthusiasm, expansion is the quality of this chakra. Six petals, each petal is enriched with one quality, and we carry forward that quality along with us. Okay, if these chakras are imbalanced, if they rotate, if they are their rotation is high or low, both means they are imbalanced, and we suffer from negative quality of these. So the negative quality of Muladhara chakra is too much of fear, no confidence, no trust. These are the negative quality. And negative quality of Swadhishan chakra is not enjoying everything. The small, small pleasure we forget. We don't do that. There's no confidence in us. That is negative quality. Then we moved ahead to let's move ahead to the third important chakra, which is known as the Manipur chakra or the navel chakra, which is located just behind our navel on the path of lumbar spine. Now, this chakra has 10 petals. It's yellow in color. 10 petals mean 10 nadis. And it has a red triangle, which is a yantra of fire element. Now, fire means our body doesn't have literally has fire. Fire means the temperature that we have, our body has. We have Jatagni, which helps us to digest whatever we eat. That is important. And then that whatever we eat gets converted into water or nutrients and it's distributed in our entire body. Now, the quality that is controlled by this chakra is ego, so or confidence, you can say, and enthusiasm and leadership quality are the positive quality of this chakra. And this chakra controls the function of our pancreas, a part of adrenal gland and liver. Then let's move ahead to Anahat chakra, which is located right behind our heart on the path of thoracic spine. And this chakra is of green color. It has 12 petals. So that means 12 nadis and prana distribution 12 different direction. Okay. And the yantra of uh, this consists a yantra of air element in the form of a six-pointed star. Six-pointed star has two triangles, one consisting of male element and the other one as a female principle. Both merge with each other to give us unconditional love, the quality of unconditional love, compassion, and passion. This is enriched with these qualities. And this chakra controls the function of our thymus gland. Okay, let's move ahead above to the Vishuddhi chakra, which is located right behind our Adam's apple on the path of cervical spine. This chakra is blue in color and it has 16 petals, means 16 nadis intersect with each other, and the prana flow is in 16 direction. This chakra has a circle in the center, the yantra of ether element, the Akash Tattva, the sky. Okay, and the quality that this chakra is enriched with is a good speaker, mystical experiences, orator. These are the quality. The positivity, the poetic nature, the singers, they all work from here because they develop this quality over there. They are good orators, powerful speakers. Okay, and this chakra controls the function of our thyroid gland and parathyroid gland. Again, remember, thyroid and parathyroid, they are not related. They have different function. Then let's move above to the Agya chakra, located right behind our, right at the third eye place, where the eyebrows meet, the third eye. It is also known as the Guru chakra, Ajna chakra, or Agya chakra. And this has two petals. Basically, these two petals are Ida and Pingla. Okay. And in the center, we have Om, the powerful mantra Om written over here, which is the yantra of our manas element, the mind. This chakra controls the function of our uh, pituitary gland and hypothalamus gland. People who suffer from insomnia, that means because insomnia, the action of sleep awakening and sleep and awakening is controlled by hypothalamus gland. So if the hypothalamus gland become imbalanced, a person will suffer from sleep related issues. So if person does uh, meditation regularly, that person will be able to control the function of their hypothalamus gland and pituitary gland. And I have so many students who have actually said that their sleep they have been they were taking sleeping pills since past 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. They have left it completely because of this powerful meditation. Any kind of meditation will activate or will balance the function of hypothalamus, pituitary gland, even agya chakra. Then the last important chakra is known as the Sahasrara chakra, which is located at the Talva region as the crown of the at the crown of the head. This chakra has 1,000 petals. So this is a junction of all the nerves that meet over here. And this has a shivling, which is a yantra of divinity over here, the intellect mind, you can say that. And this chakra controls the function of pineal gland in our body. Pineal gland, which controls the sodium level in our body. And one more thing I would like to share with you all over here. Pineal gland they start shrinking after the age of 8. So till the age of 8, a pineal gland is active in a kid, and they control all the function among the kids and all. But after the 8th year, they start shrinking in size. And what happens because of that? It results in giving all the power to pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, once it takes care, it takes over, then it helps a child to become it on a child become mature beforehand. So either a child become wilder because of that, more wild, or they are subdued by nature. So, if the child is introduced at a tender age with the yoga, pranayam, omkar and omkar brahmani, then the pineal gland doesn't start calcification. The calcification of pineal gland doesn't happen. We can prolong it longer and resulting a child becoming more wisely intelligent or more intelligent. This is a recent study which has come out. In fact, the scientists are still researching on pineal gland, and they say that pineal gland, the activity of pineal gland, is connected with our spirituality and wisdom. It is connected with that. So, if the pineal gland remain active for a longer time, the child will be more intelligent by nature. You can be rest assured of that. So these are the 7 important chakras in our body. We have already discussed about them in detail. And Ravi, shall we start the meditation now? Because in next session we can talk about the Kundalini and the rest of the topics that we have already discussed.
Yes. Uh,
There
there is,
is a question and answer. I'd like to answer that first.
how does one know which gate the person goes from when they die? I think you answered that already.
I did, but if they want to know, I'll say it again. As I said, the lower gate, that means anus and pituitary or urinary tract, a person soiled their clothes just before death. So that means if you see the stool in their clothes, that means they have died from the anus. So, and if they pass urine, that means they have died from the urinary tract. In the case of mouth, the mouth remains open, that means they have died from there. The eyes remain open, that means they have died from there. And nostril and ears, at times, there can be trickle of blood or nothing. Because as I said, the prana is subtler than the air. This, at times, it cracks. That means a person has died from it. Any more questions? I can see two more.
No, it was the same person saying sorry. That was asked before you talked about it. Any
Okay.
more questions before we start meditation?
Meditation, yes, please. You can ask because today we discuss about all the chakras, location of the chakras, the color of all the chakras, the yantra and tantra of all the chakras, the glands that these chakras control in our body, the quality of all the chakras. So if you have any question, please you can ask.
We're going to start wrapping down our sessions. So, if you have any questions, these are the great times to ask any questions that you have.
Okay, how to activate pineal gland? Among kids, yes, but in us, in an adult, it has already calcified completely. So, but to get more result among kids, we can teach them Omkar, how to chant Om, Anulom Vilom, yogic asanas, yoga asanas, pranayam, that can be taught. And obviously, child who's below 7 or 8 years, we can't teach them meditation, but definitely Omkar can be taught. And this will help to stop the calcification of pineal gland. It can prolong that. Anymore. Okay. You're most welcome. Any more questions? Otherwise, we'll start the meditation. So today, I think, Ravi, we have only 32 minutes.
Let's do 37 minutes.
Okay, so I'll take your leave. Namaste to all of you, and we'll meet again next Friday. Till then, enjoy your meditation. Thank you, and please do it every week. As you know, the uh, journey to when you meditate, this journey is beautiful. Obviously, we will not be enlightened. Maybe we will, but it'll take a long time. We have to do a lot of tap. The karma has to be right, but at least the journey will be beautiful. We'll start gaining peace, joy, and the physical and mental will be more healthier, physically, mentally, emotionally, and obviously spiritual. And that's what we all are looking for. So please do meditation every single day. We have shared with you 18 minutes meditation. Only Omkar, if you do, it will take only 5 or 7 minutes. You can choose. So we have number of meditation that according to your time schedule you can do, but don't leave it. That's what it can say. I can say. So with that, I'll take your leave. Thank you and namaste once again. Bye.
Thank you, Preeti ji. And happy Valentine's Day from all of us.
Yes, thank you. Happy Valentine's to all of you.